my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. So today, we're going to talk about the products that I should have never bought this year. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. If you are new, I would love for you to click that subscribe button, join the Glam Girl Squad. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for deciding to come back and support my channel. It truly does mean a lot to me, and I really do appreciate it. So let's get right into this video. First, I have to talk about all of the liquid highlighters that I bought this year that I should have not. As I was pulling things out, I was like, I bought so many liquid highlighters that I knew I wasn't really going to be using, still bought it, and literally never used them more than once, maybe twice. Starting off with what I look at almost every day, because it sits right here like within my eye shots. And I really want to love it. Okay, we have the Chanel Le Beige Illuminating Oil Face, Body, and Hair. So let me shake it up, okay? So this is supposed to be an illuminating oil that you're supposed to be able to use on the face, the hair, and the body. I saw this and I said, I need it. Because I'm going to tell y'all, and y'all might see it during Chelsmas, I love Chanel complexion products, okay? Love them. And I have almost all the Chanel foundations. Anything that like falls under kind of complexion Chanel, I'm very interested in it. And okay, I forgot to show y'all what it looks like. Let me show y'all what it looks like. So when you put it on your hand, right? This is what it looks like, okay? So you rub it in. It's the typical Chanel scent, which I thoroughly do enjoy. So I'm like, okay, doing great. And then when we're done, I mean, it just looks like I put like an oil on, and that's what it is, okay? I'm not taking nothing away from what it is, but I don't know. I think I was expecting more. I think I thought the shimmer that I see in the bottle was the shimmer and shine I would see like on my face or my hands. And like even looking up close on my hands, like you don't see any of that. And on top of that, it's more like a dry oil, so it doesn't really feel hydrating, and that's how I feel when I use it. So, I mean, I really should have, honestly, I really should have returned this. Like, because the second it came in the mail, I put it on and I knew I was not going to like it, but I was like, oh, maybe it's not a good day for me to try this. So that's that. That is the #1 product I regret buying this whole entire year. Following very closely in the #2 spot, this Gucci Illuminator. So this is the Gucci Illuminator multi-use drops. I said, oh my gosh, Gucci's another one of those brands where complexion-wise, I have been thoroughly satisfied so far. And I said, oh, we're gonna get this. Same thing. First of all, the dropper is a little finicky. So like, look at that. Look, right there. You see all that product? Watch. I am squeezing. Can y'all see me squeezing it? Okay, first problem. All right. Then, I mean, I can't even show y'all what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. I'm like, thank y'all for, you know, proving me right. So even if I wanted to use this product, I barely can use it. Now, this is one of those drops where it's not claiming to give you like shimmer. But even still, it's a sheen. That's all it is. And I think for me, I was expecting this to, I think, do more than what it is. I don't think this is necessarily a bad product. Like when I look at the sheen, I'm like, oh, that's pretty. But I have other products that do the same thing or do more. Like when I put this on the skin, I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to put this on my skin first as kind of like a glow primer. Put my foundation on top, and I would love, you know, I was expecting to see this peeking through. I don't get that from this. This also is too liquidy in its formulation for me to trust putting it on after I have set my face, you know, as a liquid highlighter on top, because it definitely has like a thinner formula to where if you do not apply it in like the correct way, it's going to pick everything up underneath. So it just was like very underwhelming for me. And then as you all saw, can't even get the product out. So biggest regret #2. Moving on. I saw this TikTok where this lady was like, I'm going to take me a Rare Beauty liquid highlighter and I'm literally going to use it all over the face. And she had no foundation on, but she used this as like a bronzer. She used it on her eyes, a little bit on her lips. And like her finished product was stunning. I said, oh my gosh, I already like the Rare Beauty liquid highlighters. And the one that I have is more like a nice gold kind of champagne-y color. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get a deeper one because the lady had lighter skin. So I was like, I'm gonna go for the deeper one, do the same thing. I don't even think I've opened this up. And I regret buying it because like, there are certain things, certain trends that I see that I'm like, ooh, I think I want to try it. But I know really deep down within my core, I'm not going to try it. And it could be a plethora of things. That one in particular, I saw it, I got the product, and then like time was going on and I just forgot about it. And I mean, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh man, but like the time has passed. So I really should have like sat on it. Like, okay, Chels, save the video, sit on it, maybe try it with something you already have. And if you like the way that looks, then go get the Rare Beauty product. But yeah, it's nothing about the formula because I really do enjoy the formula. But this is the shade called Reflect. And I definitely can't use this shade as an actual highlighter. As you can see, it is too deep for my complexion as a highlighter. So I'm gonna see if my sister wants this because it will work beautiful on her. But yeah, you know, I know myself at this point in the game. I should listen to myself and I don't be listening. All right, here we go. Another liquid highlighter. I told y'all, it was like so many liquid highlighters came out the beginning part of this year and they all were from brands that I love the complexion products. So I was just so compelled to buy it. Valentino was another one of them, okay? Love the Valentino foundation. This is the V-Lighter Dual Use Liquid Light Face, Base, and Top Coat. And I was like, oh, this is going to be lovely. This is the shade Umbra. And this one is really pretty. So this is what the highlight looks like. And it's more than just highlight in this video. I'm just starting with these first. So that's what the product looks like blended out on my skin. And honestly, I have no complaints about this. I just don't use it. I think it's, once again, it's one of those things where it's like I have liquid highlighters that I love and that I use. And so it's not bad, but it's also forgettable, which is kind of worse. Like it's almost worse to be bad. It's not bad, it's just forgettable. So it's not a bad highlighter. Like I honestly would recommend it because it is beautiful, especially if you want a highlighter that's got no shimmer, but you really want that like lit, not even, this will give you a lit from within glow. Like you just really want glow to the skin. This is really beautiful. It would be great to mix in with the foundation as well. I honestly just need to reach for it more. This is one that I would actually say I'm gonna keep because I just need to use it more. The others, I'm decluttering for sure. For sure. Okay. Pat McGrath cream blush sticks. Actually, balm blush sticks. I bought all of them and I honestly should have only bought these two. Okay, so the two shades that I use, and you can see, can y'all see how much I've used? I mean, I've used a lot, but you can tell I've used them. Divine Rose and Paradise Peony. These are the two shades that I do use, I really do enjoy, and I really should have just bought these two and been like, hey, if you buy these two and you find yourself reaching for them over and over again, maybe get the other shades. Here's the thing. The other shades all look quite similar on me. You can even see in these two, you can see a distinction of the two. So this is Paradise Peony and this is Divine Rose. You can see a difference in the shades, but like honestly, when you go to put blush on the skin, it's hard to notice distinct differences when the shades kind of all lie within a similar family of color. And that's what I felt about these blushes. And it didn't help that the texture is balmy, so the coverage is going to be even more light in terms of pigmentation. So although I really enjoy the formula, I think it's beautiful, I really should have just bought two. Hence the reviewer in me. It's like, oh, I need to be a source for everybody. Buy all the shades, but it's like, I knew going into that I was not going to use all of them, and I should have just stuck with the two that I probably thought I was going to use. Okay, here's another. This is a blush and lip product. So this is by Valentino. This is the Liquid Rosso. Oh, this is a liquid lipstick that could be also used as a blush. Oh, this is so dry. And I have another shade. Oh, I do. And I'm not even gonna waste my time. I have another shade. It's a like pinky nude type of shade. This formula is so dry. And it's marketed as a liquid lipstick, but it's also marketed as a blush. So the color is really beautiful, but look at how this swatches. It's like quite thin. And because it's got a liquid lipstick formula, it's gonna dry down more matte. But like, look at the streakiness of it. It just wasn't what I expected. And I was like, okay, you know, it doesn't really feel great on the lips either. But because it's so sheer, I wouldn't want to put a gloss on top because I feel like the gloss will lift up the little bit of color. And I mean, this could be a nice blush color, but then it's like, the formula is not, it is not. So I bought 2 of these and I was really excited about it, but I was like, this was definitely a miss for me. I wish I wouldn't have bought it knowing that it wasn't going to be good. And I didn't watch any reviews because I didn't want to be influenced negatively, because sometimes people may not like something, but then it'll work for you. So usually if I'm interested in a product, I try not to watch reviews so then I can form my own opinion. So that's what happened there. But it's just, These blush wands by Charlotte Tilbury. Another purchase that I should have only gone with the 2 shades that I thought would work the best for me, which are these 2 shades. We've got Pillow Talk, we've got Peach Pop and Dream Pop. These 2 shades are better suited for my complexion. I like the warmth that they provide to the skin. I like that I can actually see the shades as well without having to like apply a lot of the product. Here we go. Yeah, so like, oh, such a beautiful color. This is the Peach Pop and this is Dream Pop. Only thing I hate about these is this darn sponge tip. There's Dream Pop right there. I mean, vibrant colors, just beautiful. But the other 2 shades, which are Pillow Talk and Pink Pop, they are more cool tone and just lighter. So I never reach for these because they're really not for my complexion. So I really should have just bought these 2 and not these. Going back to Gucci, I bought the Gucci concealer and I didn't even realize that they had launched the concealer. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this packaging. And I'm telling you, look at the packaging. This is what Gucci does so well, in my opinion. The packaging of their products get me every time, or almost get me, okay? The shade that I have is 34N, and I have heard people say they love this concealer, but I can't get with it. And I don't know what it is. Well, yes, I do. I do know what it is. So here is the shade of the concealer. I think the shade is a nice shade. I'm not disappointed in the shade. It is dry to me, and it's dry in a way that I am not motivated to work with it, because I've tried some concealers that were dry and I'm like, okay, let's pull out what we know and I can make it work. And I'm like, I get it. Like, prime example, the, here we go. Urban Decay Quickie Concealer. When I first got this, which by the way, I wear shade 50 in. When I first got this, I was like, oh, this is like too dry for me. I'm gonna put this back in my drawer. And then, you know how you keep hearing people talk about something? I was like, okay, Chels, like, really give it a try. Gave this joker a try with prepped, hydrated skin, and I really enjoy this one. Like, this is definitely a really good concealer. I highly recommend it, all the things. So, it's this formula though, it's thin, which is okay. I tend to not like thin formulas, but I was like, okay, it's thin, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. But I don't know, the way that this dries down, it just doesn't, like, I don't like the way it looks under my eyes. I feel like it just looks dry even when I go in with hydrating primers. And like I said, I'm just not motivated to work with it. And I don't really know why, but I'm not. Here's another one that y'all, I told y'all about this one. Haus Labs blushes. I know y'all are gonna get me. This is in the shade Dragon Fruit Days. Here's the thing. I told y'all I should use this. I don't know why I don't use this. I've heard the formulation is amazing. I should have never bought it because when I looked at these blushes, something inside of me was like, you're not gonna use it. I should have listened. You know why? Ask me if I have used it since the last time I told y'all I'm gonna use it. I have not. I don't know why. You know how sometimes you look at a makeup product and you're like, I don't care how good people say it is, I just know I'm not gonna use it. That's exactly how it is for me in that blush. And that's it. I just don't have any more justification. I don't use it. And I probably won't, so it will be decluttered. And it's so sad because it's such a pretty shade. Okay, here we go. Makeup by Mario. He came out with his Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veils. I bought all of them and I should have not. You know why? Because the only two shades that I really continuously use are Rosé Crush and this shade here, Just Peachy. I should have really just bought these two shades and left the other shades at the store because the other shades, definitely don't use them. A couple of them were, like all of them showed up against my complexion, even the lighter ones, but the lighter ones were like very light. Kind of like these from Charlotte Tilbury. Like these two shades here, they show up on me, but because they're so light, it's like, that's really not meant for your complexion. That's how the other shades of these were. So I really should have just bought two of these. And not, I think it was 6 of them, not all 6. Plus the formula of these are going to be, in terms of the blushes, formulation is going to be more light. So here is Just Peachy. So it's kind of like the Pat McGrath Balms with a hint more pigmentation. This is Rosé Crush. So, you know, not giving you the most pigmentation, which they're not marketed to give you a ton of pigmentation. So with that said, and knowing that, should have just honed in on the two that I do use, left the other ones at the store. I wanted to, in the summertime, like the very beginning of the summer, I wanted to do a video on every skin tint at Sephora. So I went and bought a good amount of skin tints that I didn't already have. And y'all never saw that video, did y'all? Two of the skin tints I bought, and the other skin tints, I ended up returning the ones that didn't work for me. Like either the shade was off or like it just did not work for my skin at all. Because I think I bought like 5 or 6 of them. But anywho, I bought this one and I was like, I feel like I could just make it work. And I just... Westman Atelier, I had the shade 10 or Atelier X, Atelier 10, Roman numeral X. And like this, it's oh, let me shake it up. It's one of those formulations where when you first put it on, you're like, okay. And then, you know, it sits and it wears and you're just like, I have better. That's kind of how I feel about this. Like, I don't like the smell of it. It smells, here it is up here. I don't really like the smell. It smells, oof. It smells terrible. It smells terrible. And like, I wore it one time and I was like, I really need to wear this again, but I do not want to smell this on my face. It smells way too chemically, which I know like they're a clean beauty brand. So I'm like, nobody smelled this and thought like we should somewhat offset the smell. But it's oily, very dewy, but it doesn't have any lasting power. So definitely wish I just would have skipped this one. And I heard this was not really that good, which is why I never picked it up in the beginning when it first came out. But I guess I wanted to try it and review it, you know, if I was going to do this comprehensive review. And yeah, don't at all. Do not. Another one that y'all were like, oh, some of y'all were like, you have to try it, Chelsea. It's my favorite. You have to try it. And I sat on it for a very long time because I said, I just know I'm not going to use it. And you know what? I was right. This Rose Ink. This is the Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. Okay. This is like the Haus Labs blush. I can't really say nothing's bad with it. I don't use it. I don't know why. I just don't. When I like swatched this in store, when I swatched this in store, I was like, okay, this shade looks okay. The shade that I have is 90. Shade actually works pretty decently. So it's nothing wrong with the shade. But I can't tell you why I don't really wear it. And it's not the beads. The beads don't bother me because I have the Chanel Le Beige foundation and that's beaded like this one and I love that one, enjoy it. I just don't know what to tell you, but I shouldn't have bought it. Okay, another base product. This is the One Size Turn Up the Base. Okay, so obviously this didn't come out this year. And I mean, some of these products did not come out this year too, but I bought them this year, so, you know, they fit the video. Saw a video of someone using this and I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? Maybe I should just give it a try. Because when this first came out, I went to the store, tried to find me a shade. Couldn't really find a shade, but the formula of this is so thick. Like, it's so like thick and moussey. And it's a matte foundation. It's supposed to be a BBB cream. This is very full coverage and very thick and very dry. And so I was like, you know, maybe it's like fragrance. Give it 6 months or so. Come back to it. I had the shade Medium Dark 1N. And everything that I initially thought about this is exactly how I still feel. Shade's not the best. Formulation is thick. And it is more mattifying. And it just is like, it just doesn't work for me. I know if I like really prep my skin, I could probably make this work in terms of like how it feels on the skin. But it wasn't enough of a product that wowed me to make me want to really work with it. So I should have just stayed with my initial instincts and been like, Chelsea, you tried it in store, you didn't like it. There's no need for you to pick it up. Okay, a fragrance I bought. This is the Coach Dreams Sunset fragrance. And let's do a little spray together. Oh, this is really pretty. Okay, so this is what the bottle looks like. It's a really pretty bottle. And you know why I bought it? This was 50% off during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. This actually smells really good now that I'm smelling it. Oh, this actually smells really good. Okay, so I forgot all of the notes. You're seeing them here. It smells very fresh, like a really beautiful, fresh floral fragrance. I think I should have left this at the store because although this smells really pretty, definitely isn't a fragrance that I need. Definitely is not one that's like so unique that it's like, oh my gosh, I have nothing like this. Like, I love floral fragrances, so I have plenty of floral fragrances that can give me the vibe of this. This is also one of those fragrances that is going to be perfection spring and summer. Being that I bought this like, you know, September going into the fall weather, I like more warm, spicy, gourmand fragrances in the fall. This is not like hitting it for me in terms of like time of year and what this smells like. This is like a beautiful daytime spring summer scent. It smells clean as well. Like, it's a beautiful fragrance, but I think I should have just left it at the store and not been like, oh my gosh, it's 50% off, I should get it. So I have to make sure that I use this when the spring and summer roll around, but I haven't used it because it just isn't hitting my scent profile in terms of what I want to wear now. And that's that on that. All right, a couple more products and we're done. This video is actually a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, Dior reformulated blushes. Here's the thing. I should have, once again, here's what I'm learning about myself. Just buy two, Chelsea. Stop buying all the shades because you know you probably won't use them all. And that's exactly what it is. Formulation is beautiful. Everything that I said in my video about these products, I still like hold true to it. I ended up buying 4 of these, and I really should have just bought 2. So the shade that I do like is this shade here called Tutu. It's one of the holographic shades. And then this one, New World Shimmer. So this is the other one. I do like this one and then the holographic one. The other 2 shades that I have, this one is called Charnel Satin. And this is just really light. Like it barely shows. Shouldn't have bought it. And then the other one that I have, it's actually a pretty shade, Poison Matte. But I don't, this one actually is a pretty shade. But the thing is, with Dior blushes, although they're beautiful and I like them, they are not the blushes that I reach for. Like just when I want to reach for a blush. And I know that about myself. That's why I should have just stuck with 2 and not bought 4. Okay, then we're gonna move on to Chanel, and we're gonna end the video with Chanel. So here's the thing with Chanel. Chanel is one of those brands that I love. I will buy from them and support them. But I also know my boundaries with Chanel in terms of like, I can buy this product from Chanel and I don't care how many people say it's like one of the best products from Chanel. This is limited edition. And that's another thing about Chanel, like because they stick true to their limited edition, I be having FOMO. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to buy it because what if I don't buy it and that's like literally the best thing and then I never have an opportunity to try it? Well, I have bought enough Chanel to know this is what you like, Chelsea. You know you're not going to use that, hun. Just, it's going to be okay. You will be all right. That's where I'm at with Chanel. You know what you like from Chanel. You know what you're going to use. Like, let the hype die down and really focus in on the products that you actually think you're going to use and not just have because it's Chanel. Okay, so I bought this eyeshadow palette and I bought this because I was like, oh, it's really light, but I know that there are women of color who like Chanel and I could be a good resource for you all. And this, you know, even though it's a beautiful color scheme and it's unique to Chanel, like they don't usually have shades like this. Just, I've used this a few times, but I really didn't have to buy this. I really didn't have to buy it because after the few times that I used it, like right around the time that I got the eyeshadow palette, I haven't picked it up since then. And I even like went to reach for it. And when I looked at the shades, I was like, yeah, these are not shades that I typically reach for like a casual look either. And that's why am like, I shouldn't have got it. Formula wise, like I know Chanel eyeshadow formula. I respect it. So the formula is not an issue for me. I think it's a beautiful formula. It's the shades. Like, and I bought it because I was like, I want to be a resource. And ooh, Chanel really doesn't do this. But I should have known. Chelsea girl. It's just going to sit there. And then lastly, okay, so this is where I find myself in a bit of a controversy. Actually, I don't find myself in a bit of a controversy. This is what I should have done. I should have bought one of these and not both because there's only one that I use. The other one is just a little light and I shouldn't have. But I bought these to be a resource. And I was also very intrigued by these. I'm not even going to hold you on it. I was like, oh my gosh, look how big they are. You know, Chanel has not done something like this since I've been following the brand. And it's, you know, it was marketed as like a face palette. I was like, okay, Chanel, like give it to me. And this is the one I should have said, you can stay at the store. And this is the one that I should have bought because this is the one I use more times than not. I can wear every shade in this palette as they were intended to be worn on the face. And I like how all of the shades look against my skin. This one, this shade right here literally is like a setting powder. Barely shows up. The other shades I can wear and they do show on the skin, but they do show light because this is more of a palette for a lighter complexion. So this should have stayed at the store. Another thing about this palette that I am going to be honest about is, I think I said this in my review, I just wish they would have gave us more pigmentation. Like, The amount of times I have to dip in this palette to get the pigmentation that I want, I can get it there, but it's a lot of hen and hawn and all the things. This was $90. I wish I didn't have to he and haul that much. And I know Chanel. Like, Chanel likes a softer hue to their pigmentation. But when you look at a pan this big, at least for me, I'm like, okay. For some reason, I think bigger pan, more pigmentation. But no. So, and I don't want to scrape off the top. I hate doing that to my palettes. Like, I don't like doing it. And maybe I should. But then it messes it up, and then I don't like the way it looks. But that's just me being ranty. But yeah, I should have just stuck with this one and been like, yep, I'm happy with this one because I know I'm going to use it. And that's it. So the moral of the story for me in the majority of these products is, number one, don't be buying all the collection. Buy a couple shades, see how you like them and use them before you buy the other ones. And then two, Chelsea, if you think you're not going to like it, if you're not drawn to it, no matter how many people say they love it, leave it at the store. That's my lesson learned. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comment section below 1 or 2 products that you bought this year that you were like, I should have never bought it. Tell us the reason why, whether you don't use it, whether you, like me, I just knew I wasn't going to use it and I didn't. Like, I want to know. We don't have to bash the product because, you know, I don't like to bash brands and the product, but hey, if stuff doesn't work for you, it just don't work for you, and that's okay. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad because we love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.